Okay, so I was watching the campaign trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and I was actually getting quite excited about it, and it made me think I might actually play the campaign this time around, because I haven't played a campaign since Black Ops, since the very first Black Ops 1, if you want to call it Black Ops 1. I haven't played a campaign since that. And it was quite interesting playing that, and when you sort of align it with the multiplayer and the different features, but how they're quite similar but very different as well, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I'll give you an example. Say the Spaz 12 in Black Ops 1 was obviously in the multiplayer. It was just a spammable shot. It was pretty effective, pretty good, especially with the silencer on. It was a good gun until they nerfed it down, but it was still fun and effective. But in the campaign, it had explosive rounds. It had incendiary rounds. I can't actually pronounce the word, but yeah, it had flame rounds, and it had a bloody long range on it as well. And I thought, can you imagine that in the multiplayer? That would be horrific. Everybody would be running around with explosive shotguns. No, not a good idea. But in the campaign, it worked. So I thought this time round, I've heard a lot about this campaign. I'm going to play it. And I did hear that they're actually only putting it on next gen. It's not going to be on current gen, which I thought was a little bit unfair. It's another one of those sales tactics. It's like they really encourage people. You've got to buy next gen. You can't buy current gen anymore. Sorry, you can't just keep playing on current gen, which I suppose I understand in a lot of respects, because the game's now becoming so advanced with the graphics and the frame rates and everything else. It's almost like current gen can't really stand it anymore. So maybe that's why they did it. It's just so innovative and so detailed that it's like, why would we put it on current gen and almost embarrass ourselves? So I do sort of get that. Maybe it's not as scandalous and as cloak and dagger as I think. And certainly a lot of people think there's a lot of dispute around this, but I'm sure they've got their reasons. But watching the campaign trailer, I don't know how many of you guys have seen it. It looks amazing, and there's so many new features in this that almost make it look as though, do you know what? It's almost going to be like multiplayer, but without being multiplayer. They're going to do it as a sort of co-op mode as well, and customizable characters and things. So there's sort of like a vault area, which is like home. It's sort of your home place where you can go and read up on news things and catch up with features that are up and coming and updates and things like that. But you can also change the characteristics of your player and change the camos of your guns and things, and it just looks really innovative and really good. And almost the game itself, the way the story unfolds, the sort of wording that they used was that not everybody's going to have the same experience and have the same feeling when they come away from the campaign. So if you're playing cooperative with somebody else, you might come away and go, wow, I can't believe that had that certain ending, and it just blew me away because I was expecting it to go in this direction, and then the other person might have a totally different interpretation of what's the events that occurred. And I think that's really clever. I think they've thought a lot about this, and that makes me more excited to play it, because I think it's just going to be different to any campaign that I've ever played. And I suppose in a lot of respects it shows why they've had 3 years to work on this. So I guess in a lot of respects it's a case of, well, for the majority of people who aren't looking forward to playing the online multiplayer, it was probably worth just buying it just to give the campaign a look. To buddy up with one of your pals and play the campaign together. How exciting is that going to be? I think that's going to be really interesting, and I want to do that. Now, the one thing I think would be interesting if they did put an addition to this in, maybe they've done it in the last couple of Call of Duties, I don't know, because I haven't played the campaigns, but I think an interesting point for them to add would be something what they've done with Battlefield, which is like, if you play the campaign, then you get rewarded in the multiplayer. So, for example, if you take into account the, what's that revolver called in Battlefield 4, the MP40, is it, revolver? But you have to do the first campaign to unlock it. There's no other way you can get it. You have to unlock it through the campaign. And so, so on and so forth. There's many guns as you continue through. There's a couple of them that I've looked at and thought, I want to have a go on that. And then it says, you have to complete campaign Valhalla or something like that. So I don't know how far through that element of the campaign it is, but it's worth unlocking for that really good gun. And I think that would be a good thing to do. Maybe they will do it, maybe that's part of it, but I think that would be a really intelligent thing for them to do, because then it would encourage people to play the campaign. And I would, in a certain business respect, think that would make them say, okay, maybe the multiplayer isn't really for me, but the campaign, I've actually discovered that I love playing campaign. And it's just all about trying to revive Call of Duty in itself. And I keep saying I do think this, I do think Black Ops 3 is going to bring a little bit of revival to the gaming industry and to the excitement around Call of Duty, and especially to, to us YouTubers as well. I think it's going to add a lot of exciting elements and features for us to use at our disposal. But I think it would also, make people take notice again. So yeah, campaign, pretty looking forward to it. I haven't really seen anything on zombies though. I've never been a massive zombies fan. The only reason I haven't been a zombies fan is because I haven't played it that much. I played it once or twice on Black Ops, and I played it by myself, which is not the way to play zombies. If you want to play zombies, apparently you have to team up with a good few people, and it's fun then, unless you come across somebody like the Zombie Killer Whale, who will troll the life out of you. So let me know, have you seen the campaign trailer? Do you think it looks good? Have you seen the the new features with the safe house and everything? And do you think they ought to have these little unlocks in there that have in Battlefield? Or are they already there? I don't know. I'm so behind with the times, I don't even know what day it is. Never mind. Thanks for watching, guys. Apocalypse done.